commentary, a tongue-in-cheek way to highlight human foibles and provide moral instruction. They were first printed in English in the 15th century, and a further push came in the late 17th century, when philosopher John Locke published Some Thoughts Concerning Education, in which he mused about books that could help children to learn without filling their heads with useless trumpery. Locke concluded, "I think Aesop's Fables the best, which, being stories apt to delight and entertain a child, may yet afford useful reflections to a grown man." Their popularity soared, and by the 18th century, publisher Robert Dodsley commented that, along with the Bible and the Pilgrim's Progress, Aesop may be said to have occupied a place on the meagre bookshelf of almost every cottage. Today, multiple copies are likely to be found in the children's section of any bookshop. Our world has changed beyond recognition, and yet, remarkably, Aesop's Fables still have an important place in it. As a zoologist, animal behaviour has always fascinated me. The fact that you can study it scientifically, on the other hand, eluded me until an A-level biology lesson in which my teacher, aptly called Mr. Bird, described how robins and male sticklebacks respond aggressively to the colour red. I remember being enthralled to learn that people had studied these animals, displaying towards postal vans and taxidermy robins. It was as if a switch had been turned on in my brain. Today, the science of animal behaviour is flourishing, meaning that our knowledge is constantly advancing. Some of it gets reported, but much of it doesn't, and the confines of a newspaper article make it difficult to provide much in the way of wider or historical context. My overarching aim for this book is to bring to life some of the most remarkable discoveries about what animals do and why, in the form of stories that interweave science with history, expert perspectives, and plenty of fascinating facts. In doing so, my deepest wish is that you will share some of that same sense of wonder. So, why am I, a scientist, bringing in the apparent fiction of Aesop's Fables? Why not just pull together some of the most incredible behavioural discoveries? Initially, my use of the fables was simply a storytelling aid, a popular hook to help build a bridge to the science. That's still true, but over time I've recognised a deeper link with Aesop's Fables, which comes down to their remarkable longevity. It's impossible to sum up how much the world has changed in the past 2,500 years, how different 21st century life looks to the lives of the ancient Greeks, or indeed any ancient civilization. And yet Aesop's Fables form a thread of continuity among the maelstrom of history. They have well and truly infused our collective consciousness, as preserved and also subsumed into other folk stories around the world as they are. It's an incredible testament to their popularity, yet the bizarre consequence is that we continue to tell stories that were never created for modern times. I don't mean the morals. While dated, they're not exactly controversial lessons for the present day, but our knowledge and understanding of animals today is worlds away from Aesop's time. This matters because these stories, which engage us from such an early age, naturally also shape our emerging knowledge about animal natures. Aesop's Fables are wholly, unashamedly anthropomorphic, meaning that the animals are all bestowed with human qualities and emotions. That was their very purpose. Aesop was not an animal behaviour scientist, or indeed a scientist at all, given that the discipline had not yet emerged, and his fables weren't intended to reveal anything about animal minds. Animal characters are often used because they can provide useful props for stories. They offer the perfect balance of familiarity and otherness that can enable potentially sensitive topics or issues to be communicated in a way that is simultaneously detached. But there was also a pattern to Aesop's use of different animals for different roles. He, together with other fabulists, was capitalizing on existing beliefs about animal natures, such as those